a drawer in a quiet study, there was a letter, folded carefully, never mailed. Gene Kelly, the man whose dancing made millions of people feel lighter, who seemed, on screen, like joy itself, had written this letter many years earlier. It was addressed to a brother he had grown distant from over the years, not because of any dramatic argument, just distance. The kind that builds quietly between busy lives across different cities over decades. In the letter, Gene had written about their childhood, about dance lessons their mother had insisted on that neither of them wanted to take at the time, about long summers, arguments over nothing, and the strange, particular bond that only people who grew up in the same house can understand. He had written, too, about how proud he was of his brother for things that had nothing to do with fame or success, for the kind of person he had become, for being steady when Gene's own life had often felt like a whirlwind. But he never sent it. Maybe it felt too personal. Maybe he worried it would seem strange after so many years of a more distant, polite kind of relationship. Maybe he simply meant to send it later, after one more read-through, after finding just the right moment. The letter stayed in that drawer for years, found much later after Gene Kelly's death by someone going through his things. Think about that for a moment. A man who spent his life expressing emotion through movement, through music, through some of the most joyful performances ever put on film, couldn't quite find a way to send a simple letter to his own brother. That was the quiet truth hidden in that drawer. That the words that matter most to us are often the hardest to say out loud, or to put in an envelope and actually send. Maybe you've felt that too. Maybe there's something you've written in your head, if not on paper. A letter to a sibling, a message to a parent, something you've rehearsed saying to a child or grandchild about how proud you are of them or how much they mean to you. And maybe, like Gene Kelly's letter, it's still sitting somewhere, unsent, unsaid, waiting for the right moment that hasn't quite arrived yet. Here's something gentle to consider. The right moment rarely announces itself. It doesn't usually feel dramatic or perfectly timed. Most of the time, it just looks like an ordinary day. A phone call, a quiet conversation, a card in the mail. And here's something else. The people we love don't need our words to be perfect. They just need them to arrive. Gene Kelly's brother never got to read that letter while Gene was alive. We don't know exactly what it would have meant to him, but we can guess. Because most of us, if we received a letter like that from someone we loved, would treasure it for the rest of our lives. Maybe it's time to write that letter, or make that call, or simply say the next time you're together the thing you've been meaning to say. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be real. And it has to actually reach them. It's never too late, as long as the person is still here to receive it. And if they're not, it's never too late to say it anyway. To yourself, out loud, or to someone else who loved them too. Words that are spoken, even quietly, even imperfectly, become part of the world. Words that stay folded in a drawer stay only with you. If you're watching this tonight, maybe there's a letter, written or unwritten, that's been waiting. Maybe tonight is a good night to take it out of the drawer. So take a slow breath, and maybe this week, let those words finally arrive.